Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Medicine in the Headlines. I am your host, Emmy, and we are going to try this one more time. We are covering the Virgil lawsuit. So, the Virgil lawsuit is a lawsuit against Royal Caribbean debt. We are now getting a little bit more information about exactly what happened on this is an article by CBS. TMZ actually was, I believe, the first one to break this story. So we are going to take a look at the article, and we're going to take a look about maybe some of the health and medicine behind it. But this is pretty shocking. The headlines today: Royal Caribbean passenger who died on board cruise ship was served 33 drinks. Lawsuit claims. So, a 35-year-old California man who died aboard a Royal Caribbean cruise ship last year was served at least 33 drinks at the ship's bar, his family claims in a lawsuit. I guess the victim on December 4th with his fiance and their son. This lawsuit was filed, it looks like, in Miami, Florida. They were on their way to Ensenada, Mexico via Royal Caribbean, and it looks like they were allegedly overserved Virgil in a matter of hours while he exhibited obvious signs of intoxication, the lawsuit alleges. While intoxicated, Virgil attempted to find his cabin room, got lost, and became agitated, the lawsuit says. Virgil was then confronted by Royal Caribbean security members who allegedly attacked him to the ground and subdued him with their full body weight. It is also alleged that the crew members injected him with haloperidol, a prescription medication used to treat psychotic disorders. And this was at the direction, it looks like, of the ship's captain, according to this news article. Multiple cans of pepper spray were also used against him. Passed away in the Royal Caribbean staff. Or with the Royal Caribbean staff and crew members. So the attorneys noted in the lawsuit that the Royal Caribbean had the right to refuse alcohol service to anyone who was visibly intoxicated, but alleged that the company failed to do so to protect Virgil's life. They also claim the cruise line deliberately markets all-you-can-drink beverage packages to passengers and ensures that there's a bar in every nook and cranny of the Navigator of the Seas. So it looks like the claim is that this person was overserved alcohol in excess of 33 drinks. I mean, that is, a lot. How would you not have, in my opinion, I am not an expert, how would you not have signs of alcohol intoxication or even poisoning? And what does that look like? What does alcohol poisoning look like? Well, according to Mayo Clinic, result of too much drugs, and in some cases, this can lead to coma and death. Alcohol poisoning can also occur when adults or children accidentally or intentionally drink household products that contain alcohol. Alcohol poisoning is a serious thing. Get medical attention right away. So what are some of these symptoms of alcohol poisoning that you might see, or maybe even intoxication complications? You could see confusion. Well, obviously this guy was confused. Vomiting, seizures, slow breathing, breathing that is not regular, skin that looks blue, gray, or pale, low body temperature, trouble staying conscious or awake. I don't know how anybody could stay awake for after 33. but it's a serious medical emergency. So, what is haloperidol? As this medication used to treat nervous, emotional, and mental conditions. It's also used to control the symptoms of Tourette's disorder. Should not be used in adults who have dementia. So there's also some considerations when using this medication. There's always some interactions, so you do want to know what your interactions are before you use this medication. Again, I'm not an expert. This is just entertainment. Okay. But this medication can also increase side effects from other medications or other like medical problems too. And the one thing that you want to remember is alcohol is a central nervous depressant. So you want to use caution in these types of things because the alcohol is further going to suppress, your nervous system. And when you start suppressing your nervous system, then you start getting concerned for breathing and heart rate and all that other stuff. Again, I am not an expert. This is just for entertainment education or entertainment of alcohol and the drug that was used. Again, it is used for schizophrenia. It works by blocking dopamine receptors. The medication was probably used because the person was probably agitated, but he was probably agitated because of the alcohol that he had in his system. Obviously, he was overserved. It's typically used for withdrawal symptoms, typically in psychosis. See, like alcohol, the main adverse effect is sedation. Okay, just remember that. Advise the client to avoid consuming alcohol with any of these medications due to risk of adverse reactions. Even small amounts of alcohol may cause a reaction. You want to monitor seizure activity. CWA is a clinical withdrawal alcohol assessment tool. It is used for alcoholics. But I wanted you guys to take a look at this because also there's another component of this. There are stages of drunkenness. Okay. So you have your sobriety stage, okay, which is 0.5 or less. But then it goes up from there to euphoria, okay, to a 0.12. This is about 1 to 14 drinks for a female or 2 to 5, okay. Now we're over to excitement. We're past the 0.9 stage, and we're at 0.25. This is the third stage of drunkenness. Slurred speech, impaired perception, memory loss, vision problems, impaired coordination, clumsiness, drowsiness, nausea, vomiting. Those around you will probably notice that you're visibly intoxicated. Next, you have confusion, 0.18 to 0.30. It's marked by emotional instability and disorientation. Coordination is noticeably impaired to the extent that the person may stagger when walking, may not be able to stand upright, may experience dizziness, may have a complete memory lapse or blacking out at this stage. This person is essentially walking and talking zombie operating on autopilot. They might have an increased pain threshold, meaning they can cause harm to themselves and not feel the effects until much later. Next, we have a stupor. A stupor occurs at 0.25 to 0.40. This person's profoundly intoxicated and in dangerous territory. He's at high risk for alcohol poisoning and death. They've lost most or all of their motor control and they cannot respond appropriately to stimuli. They may not be able to stand or vomit. They may completely pass out, and they unable to voluntarily control certain bodily functions. People who are left to sleep it off may experience hazardous slow breathing or complete respiratory arrest. They may aspirate on their own vomit. You're also risking heart arrhythmia and seizures. And then you come to the final stages of coma and death. Coma is at a 0.35 to a zero point 0.4 blood alcohol level. Okay. A person at this stage will most likely die without medical treatment. And then you have death, which is at a 0.45 BEC or above. This is not life sustaining. So, like I said, TMZ was the one to get this, and it is following a now, I guess, it is a homicide ruling. The family of the man who died on a Royal Caribbean cruise last year after trying to beat down a door on board are suing the company they believe he was responsible in part for giving him too much alcohol. In court papers, it's going after one of the world's largest cruise line companies for allegedly serving him at least 33 alcoholic beverages before his untimely death. Should be very anybody would fight. Homicide, and they're seeking down passengers' responsibility and all of this so quickly, or are they going to go to court and fight it out? Depending on what the evidence is and what it's not. So, like I said, this is a new show. If you want to see more, let me know. Like, subscribe, and share, and we'll see you next time. Thanks, house guests.